Yo, it's Crow, and we have a crazy story that happened on Wednesday night. Actually, it's really funny. John Della Rose was on our show just a bit ago, and he's actually the writer for this article. But YouTubers, the quartering and Tim Pool subjected to simultaneous swatting attempts. Now, actually, I have the clip from Timcast IRL when it happened. About an hour into his show, they had to evacuate the studio because somebody had called in a bomb threat. And I think we've talked about it before, but so far Timcast has been swatted. I think he had said on his video yesterday morning that they've had something like 13 swatting attempts. Not all of them they've made public. We have seen the police actually enter the studios or enter his studio before. So this is a concerted effort to consistently keep swatting Tim Pool. Now, fortunately, I think he's okay in the sense that the cops keep getting called, so they're not rushing in with guns every time. Although the first incident, according to the staff there, had somebody not been outside when the police had shown up and kind of talked to them, police would have rushed in, guns blazing, while they were live streaming. Whoever is doing this, by the way, is absolutely a coward and a scumbag. I think most people understand that. But as to why it's happening, I think we all know why it's happening. Tim Pool is doing political content. Tim Pool's political content is not outrageous. It isn't something that... I've seen people try to clip him to make him sound like insane. Ethan Klein did that, actually. But they have to chop the clips up. So they're so short. It's very transparent that they're removing all context from the situation. So, if you have a guy like that, can't portray him out to be like this crazy right-wing extremist, which, they do to everybody. They do to literally everybody. You can't do it to this guy. He's getting, thousands and thousands and thousands of live viewers every night. I think that you have people that are of a certain political leaning, and they don't like that, and they don't like the fact that he's having these conversations with people. They don't like the fact that he's his audience of what's actually happening in the political sphere. And so the solution that the more rabid, crazy ideologues have come up with is to just consistently SWAT Tim until he's either A, too scared to do it anymore, which obviously isn't working, or B, he eats a bullet. Because we know that one of the purposes of swatting is to get the cops to show up and unload on the person inside. It's happened many times before. Many people have died because of it. Our current laws have not caught up to this type of crime yet, and it keeps on happening. And look, I'm not going to pretend that it's a unique thing to people on the left to do this, to people that aren't on the left, but my goodness, does it keep happening to Tim Pool. And actually, when Tim Pool was swatted, it happened to the quartering, and they believe it's from the same individual, because the quartering, as a Chaircast ran for roughly 3 hours. Just 3 hours of this. Quartering had sent in a super chat, which I guess pissed off whoever swatted the show, because this is nuts, right? Quartering sends in a super chat randomly for a bunch of money, and everybody in the chat's going crazy about it. And I guess whoever had swatted Tim was still watching the 3 hours of empty Chaircast, watching the chat to see if they had succeeded. Fucking unhinged. Absolutely unhinged.
Was incentivized to put out fires, and they got paid more for every fire they put out.
We have to evacuate the building.
You better believe that you'd see a lot more fires. You guys, I love you. I think
we're just going to keep the live stream going, but we have to evacuate the building.
All right.
We'll be right.
You heard it from the top.
The stream will just stay up as it is.
Please stay tuned.
And just please keep watching in case something happens, but we have to evacuate.
Well, while we're on break, go to TommyAltman.com.
We're gonna grab something to drink. We're being told we need to evacuate the building. So keep watching, keep the stream up. And can you do the wide shot?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you'll get to watch something happen. I don't know. We have to get out of the building.
Cool.
Let's go.
Is this cool though? Police saying this? That's Taylor saying. Let's go. Who's Taylor? Oh, Tyler.
So yeah, everybody had to evacuate, and as you can see, they just kept a wide-angle shot up the entire time. 3 hours of this, and then they finally come back in. And it's crazy because I guess they still had like 20 to 40,000 people watching this empty room and super chatting them money. I mean, look, whoever did this, I mean, you know, it obviously it just helped him out. It obviously did. First off, it justifies what Tim Pool is saying about people on the left and, you know, their need to shut down any conversation that they don't approve of. I mean, actually, I remember when I joined Twitter, and this was 2019, I want to say, and at the time I was on there, like, people on the right were saying that they were being censored, and people on the left were saying, oh, you're crazy, that's not happening, you're lying, you know, nobody's censoring you, nobody's doing that, that's not happening. And like, you remember, like, recently, like, what was it, last month or so? Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter, and they all start freaking out and saying about how important their, you know, quote unquote content moderation is. Censorship, the thing that they denied that they were doing the entire time, right? Then they came out and openly said, yes, we're doing it, and it's a good thing. Deny, downplay. Deny, downplay. I'm sure that because this isn't working the way these swatters want it to, eventually they'll start saying that, well, you know, actually it must have been Tim doing it to himself. We would never engage in this type of behavior. Tim Pool swatted himself, and the quartering joined him. These people are fucking nuts. It's crazy. But yeah. I mean,
so tired. Is it working? We're streaming.
So from an hour and 9 minutes all the way to 4 hours and 14 minutes. Over 3 hours. Over 3 hours of it. But that's only part one because, like I said, when Tim Pool was swatted, the quartering sent a super chat to Tim Pool for like, I think it was like $1,000 or $400, something like that. Basically promoting his coffee. It seems like that's all it was, but that incited the swatter to go after the quartering. And I'm just going to read through these tweets from the article by JDA, but I do suggest you guys check it out. So I'll put a link in the description so you can go through it yourselves. But he does have all the tweets from Jeremy in here. SWAT team just left my house. Someone texted them that I murdered my wife with a high-power rifle and was going to kill myself. They deployed the SWAT team for an anonymous text. They all knew it was a SWAT too. Hilarious. 100% dead serious. You'll be able to listen to the radio calls online, but no fucking body cams. Total bummer. Now, this is this is where he describes what actually occurred, and this is the part that I'm glad that they just, you know, dragged him out of his home, put him in handcuffs, and threw him on the ground, you know, and that's bad. That's bad. I'm happy that that happened and not, you know, guns being drawn and fired. No, and here is why. I supposedly murdered my wife. The cops were sitting in my driveway when dispatch called me. My fucking wife answered the phone. They should have stood down at that moment, not handcuff me and make me lay in the wet grass and scare the shit out of my wife. Yeah, like, it was over an anonymous text message. I am also on the local do not SWAT list and have been for years. I don't know exactly. Maybe there was a mistake. Maybe. But We're 100% fine. Cops were cool after they realized I wasn't a murderer, but they crossed a few lines in my opinion. Well, I mean, yeah, probably. Like, I mean, according to me about a lot, but this is the big one. This is basically the shot. You can see the cops all standing outside, in his garage too. But yeah, he's got his lawyer involved. This whole thing here where it mentions Tim Cass being swatted 8 times. Yeah. And I guess we're up to 13 now. But it mentions over here, in 2017, Peter Cementi was subject to a false call while hosting a promotional live stream from independent comic book imprint Alterna Comics. In this incident, police not only entered his home, but also drew guns on him. What is this? Recently subject to a respective false SWAT call range from the political, Nick Fuentes and Nick Rekieta, both Nicks. Ah, man. Yeah, look, and again, I think Nick Fuentes is a complete utter piece of human shit. I don't want the cops to bust his door down and open fire on the guy. Like, and I think Nick Fuentes is really like human shit in a skin suit, the little cummy hunter and everything. I still don't want some little fucking psychopathic twerp to call the police, say, oh, he just shot his gonna say his wife, but we all know that's not true. Nick Fuentes just shot his gay roommate. Please send the cops. I don't want the cops to just bust down the door and, you know, turn the guy into a pincushion. Generally speaking, I don't want to see that happen unless they actually, you know, deserve it. Like, you know, as in they are a murderer and they need to be stopped murdering someone. Like, to say I don't like their opinion, so I called the cops so they would be shot is just, I mean, it's kind of like you're using the police as hitmen. Not like 100% effective, but it's the goal. Yeah, the lawsuit with Jeremy Hambley. Yeah, man. This I feel like it's getting worse. You know, swatting in general has been a problem for a while, but I feel like it's definitely getting worse. And I think as you're seeing everything be turned to politics, you're seeing a younger generation become much more, how do I say it? I guess aggressive. The younger generation, when it comes to politics, is a little bit more aggressive when they get ingrained in it, in terms of what their solutions are, which tend to be violent. And I mean, like, I don't know if there's any way to get around that, because again, sure, you can say Quartering is a provocative guy, but Tim Pool, right? Tim Pool is not a provocative guy. Tim Pool is not out there talking about how evil it is to be gay, or saying that gosh, what would be another one? All abortion, every woman that gets an abortion needs to be arrested. He doesn't say things like that. He's not outrageous. He's literally having conversations with people. In fact, has had people come in from the left, although not often, which does not seem to be his fault. It seems to be that they don't like coming out for the show. But he has invited them. In fact, recently he had one guy on there, Matt or something. And look, I thought the guy was a complete fucking hack, but hey, he was there. We got to hear his fucking side of things. We got to hear his opinions. And you got to hear everybody else's. If that type of show is too inflammatory for one group of people in the country, I don't see how we move forward. I only see things getting worse, and getting so much worse.